Well, guys, first off, thanks for sitting down with us. And we're here to talk recruiting and the class that you guys just signed. We'll just talk generically first about the class as a whole. What do you see when you see this #1 class coming in next year?
It's a class, obviously, took a lot of effort, a lot of energy, but one that we're excited about, obviously because of the talent, but also because of the quality of the kids and the families that they represent. You know, they're pieces that fit our culture, and you know, that's one of the main charges that Cal has when we're out recruiting these kids, is to go and look and find those kids that are going to fit our philosophy and our culture.
High character kids, and character obviously reigns supreme in terms of recruiting. We look for kids with high character and not characters. These guys are quality individuals that fit together, and they understood our message from beginning of the recruiting process in terms of what we were doing, who we're recruiting, how many guys, how this was all going to work. And we were transparent in the information in terms of obviously being upfront with them more than most. I don't think, you know, we volunteered a lot of information, and we wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page with what we were doing and who those pieces were and how those pieces fit. And I think that worked for us in our favor, and those guys kind of shared and started to recruit each other because of the message and how we recruited everybody and was very upfront with the process.
I think it's going to be a really dynamic and exciting group to watch. I mean, Robert is really, really fun to watch. He's going to have people out their seats. I mean, Aaron, DJ, Reed, Justin, and like these guys said, they're really, really high character kids, and they're really fun to be around. They have great personalities, and you know, we had them on campus on their official. They were they really meshed together well, you could tell, and they were laughing and having fun. So it's going to be a fun group for the fans to watch the next couple of years.
How do you all split up the different recruiting responsibilities?
We don't. You know, when you see one of us, you see all of us. And it's the philosophy that Cal has always had. When we recruit kids, we recruit them for all of us. So one of us may have a stronger relationship in terms of the connections, but we all go and see the individual so that everybody has a clear picture as to how they fit with what, you know, Cal's philosophy is and the pieces that we want to bring here.
It's a team effort, and obviously we have Mariano Rivera on our side. You know, we have the closer, the best closer in recruiting is Coach Calipari, and so our job again is to go out and shop for his groceries, and then his job is to close, and he's the best at it. And so we work as a team. Sometimes I'm the good cop, he's the bad cop, or sometimes it depends on the hook. We call it the hook, and who's the champion. And whoever has the better relationship with the champion, or it may be 2 champions, or it may be 3 champions. And we all kind of work those relationships. So we work as a team, but at who bats cleanup for us is Cal, and so he's Mariano Rivera.
What makes him so good at that?
He would say 30 years, but it's more like 40 years, but don't put that on the camera. It's 30 years of experience, obviously of being in a lot of families' living rooms and dealing with a lot of dynamics of different coaches and AAU coaches and uncles and cousins, and you learn to navigate your way around that terrain. And so he's been doing it for a long time, and he's been at the top of his game for a long time. So he still has a lot of closing ability left in him, as you can see, as we have the #1 recruiting class in the country. He's done a great job closing.
And KT, you came in kind of late on this one, but I'm sure these guys will say you helped out a lot more than maybe you would let on. But what was it like to see the process here as opposed to some of the other places you've been?
Just working with these guys and coach, man. These guys are big time. They're experienced. They're veterans. I mean, O's been a head coach, and I mean, and like they said, when you do it as a group, as a kid, it's not like I just know one assistant. I know the entire staff, and that's really huge in the recruiting process.
How much excitement does it inject into this program to have the #1 class coming in?
I think it's a lot of excitement. I think because of the history of University of Kentucky, I think that they've obviously dealt with having the #1 recruiting classes before, and they expect that. And it's a gift and a curse, so to speak, because the people are so heavily invested that, you know, that's all they want is to have the #1 recruiting class. But this one took a lot of hard work. There was a connection with all of those kids, and all we did was just connect the dots. And by connecting the dots, we have had some success in those areas and have some relationships in those areas. And you try to work those relationships. And when you have relationships, people believe in you. It's not hope, it's faith. You know, they have faith in believing in the unseen. And so you want parents to believe in you based off the history of the successes you've had with other kids and that are like them or from that area, and they know you and they know that you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do. So that's all we try to do. We don't lie, we don't embellish, we tell them the truth. And sometimes though the truth, it backfires on you, you know? So everybody don't wanna hear the truth, you know? Everybody don't wanna hear you keep it real, and so we do that, and it kind of worked for us.
Honestly, you think that they're, you know, high-level recruits that at times when you tell them how hard it's going to be, how difficult it's going to be, and how much they're going to have to sacrifice for one another in order for this to work. You know, sometimes, like we're saying, they say they want to hear the truth until you tell them the truth, and it's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to sign up for that. And that's the beauty of this class, is that they all knew that, and they all like each other, and they all recruited each other. And they all want to be a part of it, and they all want to sacrifice for one another. And so it just so happens that they happen to be the #1 recruiting class. But if they didn't have the rankings on them, and those kind of kids recruiting each other wanted, you know you can get something, you can make something special with that kind of commitment to each other already.
Rob Dillingham, how would you describe a player like him?
He's like an Allen Iverson type. He's just dynamic. I mean, he handles the ball really good. He can make shots. He's really fun to watch. He can score in bunches. He can fill it up quick.
You know that Big Blue Nation loves to have a Kentucky kid on the roster. I mean, it goes back years and years, and even the walk-ons. I mean, you guys hear them when they come in and they're from Kentucky. Brennan gets a big cheer. So to have a guy like Reed Sheppard, who also has the legacy, kind of has to be pretty special to see him come in and get the chance to play here.
Yeah, it is, and it was something that in the recruiting process we were all very aware of, respected their legacy and their family lineage. And Cal was deliberate in saying, look, we got to make sure that this is going to work for Reed, right? Because of that. And, you know, he led us some great leadership. We recruited him, we watched him, we evaluated him. And at the end of it, Cal says, you know, he will be a great piece. And I think he's going to be a kid that's going to be a great piece in that class and have a lot of success.
I want to know what or who excites you the most about this class.
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
You can give me a top three.
I mean, I think for me, Aaron Bradshaw he's an avatar. Like, you got to understand, he's 7'1". He can dribble, pass, shoot. Like, that's where the game is going. Like, if you look at the dynamics of the game in the NBA and the next level, it's guys like him that are 7 foot, that can shoot it, dribble, pass. You know, so he's unique in his own way. Like, you don't get many 7-footers with the skill sets that he has, and so guards are guards. Our 3 guards are going to all be really good, but to have a 7-footer with the skill sets that he has, that's kind of significant. That's a little different. That's special. So
one of the things that we haven't really touched on, that's an underlying element of all of these guys, is that they've all been a part of winning at a high level, even at the high school level. As juniors, you've got a couple guys that have won, you know, state championships already. That's also key.
But it's tough because DJ is DJ, you know what I mean? It's like
Justin
is Justin, and Justin is Justin, and Rob is Rob, like Coach says. It's like, and then to be honest, Reed is really good, man. Reed is really good, and like,
Didn't see that one coming.
you know, Reed is really good. So it's like, I guess I said Aaron because he's 7 foot, like, but I mean.
All of them are special in their own way. And like talking about Reed, he was the first kid I went to see coming here with Cal, and I'd heard about him, I'd never watched him, and he can really, really pass the ball. And like to add him in the mix with his passing with those other guys, it fits really well.
Yeah, one of the things with Reed that we all really liked is that the higher the competition, the more his IQ and feel showed up. And that's special. That's special. You know, obviously you get the dynamic play of DJ and Rob, and like Chin said, Aaron is an avatar, and then Justin is just a competitive dude. You know, you may see this skinny body, but he's a tough Philly kid that, you know, takes a lot of pride in that. And it's, well, I mean, we're fans. Aside from being, you know, their future coaches, we're fans of all of them.
And the amazing part of all this is we're sitting here talking about one class, and there's still a long way to go this season. Yeah. You've got transfer portals always out there. Plus, this entire team could, it's not going to, but this entire team could come back.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it's something that, you know, obviously we won't have any answers to until this season run its course, and then we'll evaluate. But obviously, looking and anticipating that there'll be some guys that are gonna move on and have an opportunity to chase their dreams, and it's what we want.
What's it like still going out and dealing with 17, 18-year-olds? And you probably remember the days of you being recruited.
It keeps you young for sure. And you have to stay young. You got to keep up with them. You got to keep up with what they're into. So it's fun, and your job depends on it, basically. But you gotta be in tune with them and have relationships with them and still be that mentor and that figure to them.
What's something that Big Blue Nation should know about this class coming in?
They should know how high of a character each individual is, and should know that all of them truly wanted to be here and be a part of Big Blue Nation. It was hard, but easier sell because of the Kentucky dynamics, the Kentucky effect, so to speak. And I think that all of these guys truly wanted to be here. All of these guys truly bleed Kentucky blue, and they're about all of the right stuff, and they're about winning. These guys are all about winning. They're coming here to win.
This is BBN Tonight, from your official UK station for Big Blue Nation.